Hey everybody, my name is Omid Adam Cindy, and I will be your instructor for the Introduction to Natural Language Processing. This will be the first time that I'm teaching this course, so I'm super excited to take what I've known in the past and kind of blend it into with this course. So without further ado, let's get started. So agenda pretty straightforward. We're going to be talking about you kind of go over who I am, my own introduction. We'll talk about the syllabus just in the basic terms. We'll talk about deliverables, and then we'll talk about things to know. Um, with that, let's start off with myself. My name is Omid Adam Cindy, and I have been at NEIU for about a year and a half now, I want to say. And since then I've taught about a couple different courses. So I've taught CS 355 cryptography. I've taught project management. I've taught professional computing, and now I'm teaching the Intro to Natural Language Processing. Kind of where's my background in all of this? So I've had years of experience within IT, project management, product development, program management, nonprofit development. I have a nonprofit, and some SaaS development as well. I've been able to launch some products and see it through its full life cycle. So we'll talk about that throughout the course itself. But kind of let's dive a little bit more into who I am. So what am I doing? So who am I? What am I doing and everything? So I'm a senior program manager at Google. I'm also the co-founder and executive director for a nonprofit organization that I founded here in Chicago. It's called the Maleha Karina Foundation, or MCF for short. And this nonprofit, we are on a mission to spread awareness and the development of pediatric cancer. And then as well, I'm a CS professor here at NEIU. So if anything that I've said here interests you and you want to talk about it, by all means, please feel free to reach out. And then kind of what qualifies me to be in this position, right? So why am I able to talk about what I'm able to talk about? And here's just some things that I can mention here. So I've actually got my bachelor's in business administration from Northeastern, and then I went off and I got my master's in management at the Geese College of Business at University of Urbana-Champaign. Additionally, I have my project management professional certification, which is the PMP. So I've done all things project management for a very long time, and I decided to go and really solidify my understanding of it. So if anybody's in the world of project management, you kind of understand how this certificate plays out. Here's some fun facts about me. I've written an academic paper, research paper about the productivity of iPhones and productivity itself, right? So what does that correlation look like? So if you're interested, please feel free to take a look at that link. I'm also a very avid reader, but I don't read as much anymore. I love podcasts or audiobooks. I've been big into audiobooks. I was very big about very self-help books, but I think in the most recent years, I've definitely dived into more of a fictional genre, which is super interesting for me. But if you have any book recommendations, please let me know. Here are my book recommendations if you're interested of taking a look at anything. I also have a rescue cat. His name is Dino. If you attend any of my live lectures or office hours, you'll see him or you'll hear him in the back. He's very talkative. So if you have a cat as well and you want to talk about cats, here we go. There, you can click on that link and see some photos of my cats. Cat, not cats. I only have one. He's enough. If anything I've said so far, interests you and you want to learn more, please take a look at my website at www.omidcindy.com. And we can go from there. Next, let's talk about the syllabus, and let's talk about it in more basic terms. I know that you've read the syllabus, you've looked at it, you kind of understand what is required, but here I want to take a little bit more time to really talk about certain deliverables and some basics that, maybe I didn't fully go through within the syllabus. So let's talk about it here. Right off the bat, the course is about a 3-credit-hour course. We're definitely going to be learning a lot within here. We're going to be learning about how things are operated, how language is interpreted within the world of computers, how can it do certain things for us. We want it, I think nowadays we live in a world where we want technology to do X, Y, and Z, but we never really flush out what that really means. Some prerequisites is CS 207 with a minimum of a C, and this course is fully online. So my information here, that's my name right there in the first line. I do have an office on campus, which is the LWH 3059. I'm currently co-sharing the office right now. So sometimes if you come in, if you're on campus and you try to see me and I'm not there, I might have another instructor in there. So just keep that in mind. Just let me know beforehand. And by the ways you can do that is either schedule an appointment. We can do appointments online or on campus. And then my office hours that are online is from it's on Fridays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Again, if you want to have a more of a one-on-one conversation, by all means, feel free to schedule an appointment. And then the best way to contact me, I tell everybody all the time, if you need an answer fast, ping me. Send me a little chat through Gmail, and that's the best way you can get information from me if it's quick, if you need it quickly. But if you want to have a conversation and like really dive into something, then send me an email. I'm pretty good about my emails. I respond within 24 to 48 hours. I don't like waiting too long to respond to things. So if something has not been responded to after that time frame, just feel free to follow up. I might forget or things might have happened. So material, there are two books within this course. There's another thing that I haven't put on here for some odd reason. But the required course material here is you can check it out. There's two links, right? You don't need to purchase anything. Just take a look at the links, and those are the books we're going to be using. But another thing that you need for this course to be successful is for one of the projects, we're going to be using ChatGPT Premium. So if you don't have Premium, you might want to get it towards the time of the assignment. I don't know what OpenAI's policy is now for getting this Premium. If I think it's like $12 or something for every month. So, but the project itself might take about a month or so. So, definitely look into that. I'll have more information about it. I'll put it into D2L when I find more information. Cool. Some major topics that we're going to talk about. Definitely, we're going to talk about NLP. We'll talk about the introduction of it. We'll talk about we'll talk about some languages. We'll talk about structures. We'll talk about coding in a very basic sense. So we'll talk about Python, but very basic. I won't be the one teaching you Python. There are an amazing videos that I want to share with you. Talk about the basics of Python. But if you already know Python, then you're all good to go. We'll talk about chatbots. I think that's one of the cool things about this course. We'll actually talk about the different types of chatbots. We'll talk about parsing. We'll talk about GPTs. We'll talk about vectors. We'll talk about machine translations. We'll talk about machine learning. So I'm super excited about this course, and I'm super excited for more of a real world aspect of how we can use these things for our benefits and make our lives a little bit easier. Here are some objectives, right? I want you to be able to understand NLP, understand it in a basics form, but kind of think of more of it in a critical sense. Then we'll talk about a couple different algorithms within NLP. We'll talk about some solutions to problems that we're having in the real world. You'll be able to develop your own chatbot, and then you'll be able to develop your own GPT using OpenAI's ChatGPT. So pretty cool stuff that we'll be doing in this course, and you'll be learning a lot of different things. And I think some of the course material might seem a little daunting in the beginning, but this is a great way where we can have these very, critical thinking conversations, and we can go from there. So I don't want you to feel that maybe you have never done anything in this world, so you don't think you're going to be successful. You'll definitely be successful in this course as long as you put in the time and effort and reach out when you need the help. I think you'll do great. So now let's talk about the deliverables. So what are things that are going to be required of you for this course? And then if you've taken me in the past, you know that LinkedIn profile is a big assignment that I always require for all my classes, regardless AI, focus course or a business course or a CS course. LinkedIn, creating your own LinkedIn is a very important thing. And for multiple reasons, it is a way that you can progress your career, it's a way that you can network, and it's a way you can help find jobs. I know a handful of people that have found jobs using LinkedIn. And I think this is just a great opportunity, for you to network and kind of see what your peers are doing and kind of learn and continue that process as well. So that'll be an assignment that we'll have. I think it's due on the second week. So there'll be a rubric for how it should be structured. So definitely take a look at that. And then again, if you've taken me in the past, you know about my one-on-one meetings. I think one-on-one meetings is super important, and I try to learn as much as I can during these one-on-ones about you and kind of your desires of what you want out of this course, out of the program, out of everything. To be honest, this time is dedicated to you and whatever you want to do with it. Right? There is no set agenda for what we should talk about, and what we need to talk about. This is going to be a 30 minutes dedicated to you and kind of what you want to learn. The duration starts at 30 minutes, right? You don't have to fully do the 30 minutes. There's no need to do an hour if you don't want to, but you have to meet with me at least once before the 8th week. I know the lecture says 6, but at the end of the 8th week. So by the end of the middle point of the semester, you need to meet with me at least once. In the past, I've been a little bit more lenient of meeting with students afterwards, but I think this time around, just based on schedules and holidays and everything, I'm gonna have a very hard deadline. If you don't meet with me by the eighth week, then you won't get credit for this assignment. That doesn't mean that you cannot meet with me afterwards. If you want to, you can. Just make sure to do it prior. But my scheduler will be out there. You can schedule anytime you want. You can schedule more than one time however you like, but this is one of the core requirements for the course. And we're going to be the next big thing that we're here is going to talk about the chatbot project. And this one is a very interesting one. I think I've been going back and forth of how I want this to operate. I really want a couple things to come out of this one. I want to be able to develop a very simple rule-based chatbot with you, and I want you to kind of develop one as a project as well. And this could be used for artifacts when you talk to jobs. This is a great opportunity for you to talk about the things that you've learned in this course and kind of something really tangible to show to future employers or recruiters or whatever it may be. We're going to be using Python for this one. And again, this is going to be a very simple rule-based chatbot. And we're going to be talking about it throughout the weeks leading up to the end of the project. So kind of we'll talk about simple rules. We'll talk about, so think about it how the schedule is set up, right? So we'll talk about what are some simple rules. We'll talk about Python. We'll talk about, what are some things that you should be doing. And I think I originally had it for the eighth week, but I think it falls in line with the exam or with the quiz. So it might be on the ninth week. I think I might have changed it a little bit. So just keep your eye on the syllabus. That might have a better time, but in this way, I think is a really great opportunity. We'll talk much more about it as we kind of go along the weeks, and then I'll have a whole rubric and everything for you. So pretty fun, pretty cool project that we get to do. Next, we'll talk about the GPT project that is after the chatbot project. And in this one itself, it's kind of self-explanatory. If you've ever worked with ChatGPT, you've known that, you can have it do many things, right? But if you use a GPT within ChatGPT, you can create and almost your own assistant for anything specific, right? If you want a resume builder, right, you can develop a GPT that is simply a resume builder and it will have the memories and it'll know the rules of how to operate within that parameter. So we'll develop one, and this is going to be after the GPT project. I think this is kind of towards the end of the semester. And then this is something as well, something fun. I think you can learn from it. You can definitely showcase it as an artifact. You can share it. I don't know if this is something you can monetize. I don't want you to, but if you can, go for it. If it's a really great GPT, why not? But that's not the intentions here. This is just for you to understand how these things are operated and how they work. So you will need a ChatGPT Premium, and again, just for a short period of time or however long it takes you to do it. The way I'm thinking about this as well is you'll develop it based on criteria that we'll set, and then from there you share that GPT with me, and I'll grade it based on certain parameters. So pretty exciting project. So in addition to all of this, we're going to be having quizzes to kind of test your knowledge about all the different things that we're going to be talking about. And, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed because you'll be learning material, doing these projects, quizzes, everything all flows together and everything flows in a certain manner here. So when it comes to quizzes, I'm very big about doing it within this um frame. So when we think about a quiz that happens on week 4, so you'll only be tested between things from week 1 to week 4, and that's it, right? Obviously. And then let's say for week 12, you'll be only required to understand the information from week 9 to 12, right? So I'm going to be testing you on this type of material. I won't ask you for something about week 1 or week 2, but understand that the concepts do build on top of each other. So you will kind of need to know something from the beginning to help you with this point, but this is a given. But I won't be asking you a random question about, I don't know, let's just say a Python question in week 12's quiz, if it doesn't warrant it. So just make sure that you don't have to feel overwhelmed. Um, it is not cumulative. So you just keep going from what you know from that time frame. And same thing with the final itself in week 16, only between information between weeks 13 to 16, or work 13 to 15, I think. And you have 2 attempts. You have 2 attempts. Each quiz is about 3 hours long. So I give you an ample amount of time to really dive into it. I'll usually I structure my quizzes a little bit different, maybe quiz over quiz, but I'll tell you kind of, hey, there's going to be 25 questions. X amount of multiple choice, X amount of, or calculation questions. So I'll give you a little, preview of what to expect. But yes, so you have two attempts. First attempt, I always try to say that this is a practice attempt, but take it seriously. Try to do really well on it so you don't need the second attempt. But I give two attempts because I know sometimes the material can be difficult and maybe sometimes the wording of the questions can be difficult. So I give you the opportunity to go for it again in the second time, and I am going to allow the highest grade. So regardless if the first attempt you got a 90 and the second attempt you got 85, the 90 is gonna be graded as the highest. I don't do averages. I don't do second attempts grades. So you just need to, whatever your highest grade is, you'll get it. So no need to worry. Extra credit. So throughout this course, we're going to be having guest speakers. I'm going to try to pull some real world guest speakers, people that I've worked with in the industry, people that I know, people that are willing to talk with me and kind of share some insights about the world of AI, the world of machine learning, kind of people from these different industries. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. What you need to do for extra credit is to write up a two paragraph response to kind of what you've learned. What are some interesting things about it, especially if it's about somebody that I bring in. If I want, if I have somebody that I bring in, I definitely want you to kind of, maybe even ask questions within there, and then maybe they can answer and follow up. But to get extra credit, you'll just need to do it. There's about 3 to 4, I think, throughout the course. So we'll see from there. So here's just a structure of what to expect for this course. I'm very big about um, allowing you to understand what to expect when it comes to grading. Everything is by point base. You don't there is no speculation of, you know, quizzes are 30% of your grade, blah 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 blah. Like this is how like the weighted averages. I don't do that. I just do straight points. So throughout the semester, at any point, you can know what your grade is. You can just take the grades that you've earned with the available points at the time, and you'll simply know what your grade is. So you take everything, divided by 740, and you'll figure out your grade. And they're calculated by using the following. So the grade is, 90 and above, 80 to 89.99. That's kind of how we structure it here at NEIU. I'm also very big about me making mistakes. I make mistakes, especially there's going to be two big projects that are going to be, that you're going to be graded on. Maybe there are things that I missed. There are things that I didn't, you know, um, anything can happen, and I make mistakes, and I'm fully aware of it, and I own up to it. Um, and you have about 48 hours to kind of mention to me any mistakes that I've made on your grading. So let's say that there was something that you really think that you should have got a grade for, or maybe there was something that I marked incorrectly, but it was incorrect. You have about 48 hours to do that. After that point, I think the grades are pretty much cemented. Um, and at that point, it's just something that you kind of have to go with, and then just keep an eye out for the future. Um, and then again, if you tell me to look at a question or something that I made a mistake on, I won't look at other questions. So I don't want you to have a fear of of me regrading the entire assignment, and then maybe there's something else that I missed that I marked right, but it should have been wrong. I'm only going to look at the grade itself, the thing that you told me to look at. So no need to worry. Some things to know. How to be successful in this course, right? Watch the lectures. I think there's a plethora of knowledge that you'll learn from watching these lectures and watching lectures that I provide to you. Sometimes my lecture slides are going to be a little bit vague, and that's on purpose, right? So I can really dive deep into it rather than just read a slide to you, because at that point it's boring. What's the point of me? And then throughout these lectures as well, I kind of give you some real world like insights about some things that I've worked with and I've dealt with, and how some of these concepts are really interpreted in the real world. Be open-minded. A lot of this information might be new to you, so a lot of this information might be known, but just keep an open mind of wanting to learn more and being better at, learning these topics. Collaboration. So there's not many group assignments on this one, but definitely collaborate with your classmates. Really learn from them. Really understand how you can be better by, learning from them, and maybe they know stuff that you don't. So collaboration is really big. Academic integrity, I'll talk a little bit more on the next slide, but we want to be honest. We don't want to do anything unethical. We don't want to cheat. We don't like that here. We're going to be working with AI, and I know you can simply just ask ChatGPT to do the work for you, but there's a lot of disservice into that, and I'll talk about it more in the next slide. these second seeking feedback and 360 feedback are kind of almost the same. Um, Traditionally, it's professor makes evaluation on students and boom, that's it. But I don't think that's the approach that I go with. I think of a 360 feedback. I'm always here to help and kind of learn and be better at what I do. And sometimes topics can be a little bit more challenging than others. So if there's something that I can do to be better, I'm always up to hearing about it. And I'm always here to help provide feedback if needed. So if you have questions of how you can do better in the course or how you can be better in general, I'm always here to help. And then there's special accommodations. So if you have a special accommodations, please let me know, and then we can work with that. So hot topic, generative AI. Everybody here is, I'm sure, have some sort of knowledge of AI. You're taking an AI somewhat course, so you are somewhat familiar with what's going on in the world. And, as CS majors, somebody that is, have done this for a little bit, I understand that all of you have this plethora of knowledge of what AI is. And I know most of you might be using it to make your life easy, which is great because I do. I use AI all the time in my work, in my life, everything. So I am full AI and I'm full in this world of it. So with that being said, because I work with AI a lot, I do know and I have picked up kind of what is AI generated text. So in this course, we're going to be using AI obviously for one of our projects, right? We're going to use for our GPT project. But I really want to emphasize some things. Using AI, so using ChatGPT for an example, using ChatGPT to further your knowledge in a topic is perfectly permissible. But if there's an assignment that I'm requiring you to do and you're responding by using AI, so if you're using it just to create some sort of content to respond to whatever thing that I'm asking for, that's not permissible. And again, I work with AI a lot, so I can easily detect what is AI and what is not. So please just, I don't want to get into the business of dealing with any of you kind of getting caught with AI. Um, Please, it's not a fun road. It's not a fun thing to deal with. So please, by all means, just don't do it. If you have questions, if something that you're submitting is an AI related thing or not, by all means, let me know. I can help you and tell you, hey, that you can't do that. Um, but again, for what we're trying to do here, um, you may have, use AI for knowledge gapping, right? So to help you understand certain things. If there's a Python script that you're supposed to write or a Python code you're supposed to write and you just have AI write it for you, there's no point. Again, these two projects are very big in the way that you can showcase them to your future employer. You can showcase it at work, showcase it to whomever. Um, and if you're going to do that, might as well know how it works. Might as well know, and really just for your own benefit, just take it seriously. And again, if you're caught using any sort of AI generated content in any of your work, you're going to get an automatic 0 for that assignment, for that quiz, for that project, whatever it may be. And then there's going to be a discussion of if this is going to go to the dean or what are next steps. And I simply just don't want to go there. So by all means, just as a very early fair warning, everybody's all aware of it. I've said it. Just don't use it, and we won't have to worry about it. Great. Another thing is if you're on campus, Campus Shield, it's a great application that I always recommend in all my courses. It's going to get cold. It's going to be winter time. It's going to get darker. So by all means, if you're not feeling safe on campus or nearby, this Campus Shield app is great because if you're not feeling safe, you can click a button within the app. It'll send an alert to NEIU police and it'll track your location based on the application and then making sure that you're in a safe spot. You never know. I always recommend it. I use it. I have it on my phone. Just, if you're going to be here on campus and you're going to be here late, so definitely a great app to have. And with that, I don't have anything else. I think this is going to be a very fun semester. It's going to be a very fun course. There is going to be definitely a lot of learning that we need to do both as someone like myself and you as the student kind of, there are things that we're going to learn and we're going to make mistakes and we're going to get better at it. But as long as we're willing to learn and continue to improve, I think it's going to be a really great semester. So, I was told again, if you're in any of my other courses, I was told that I need a catchphrase to end or start my videos. I don't have a catchphrase. I'm sorry, but if anybody can think of one for me, I think that's a little extra credit. So here's your small Easter egg right there. If you can think of a great catchphrase for me, that would help. But if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, ping me. email, whatever it may be. But until then, take care and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.